Today, Anthony Viljoen here, CEO of Andrada Mining, our tin producing and soon to be lithium producing asset listed on London's AIM exchange.
Anthony, good to see you, and thanks for coming back on. You missed out Tantalum, and you've also got Tantalum. We're going to talk today, though, about lithium. You just announced that you've produced first bulk lithium concentrate from a pilot test program. Tell us more.
Yeah, Matt. It's been quite a while of metallurgical test working to try and get the spec right, which we've been doing. We've been running test programs just outside Johannesburg off-site, but that's while we're busy constructing the pilot plant. So once we've completed that, we'll then move the test work on site, and we will start running test campaigns and hopefully a little bit of consistent lithium production in the not too distant future.
Right, and then help us understand what it is that you're producing. Obviously, we've talked in the past about these sort of huge tailings, or these. I saw them myself. I was down there, mountains of the stuff. But you're talking about petalite lithium. So first of all, what is that?
So look, it's just a different mineral of lithium, basically. So everyone is obviously quite familiar with spodumene. Petalite is the added advantage in that it can go into both the industrial and the battery grade market because it's a lot purer form of lithium, so it's got fewer contaminants, but still like all lithium, selling at a premium or selling at a really healthy price. So good for us to make money.
Right. So, but what is the difference between petalite and spodumene? I think they say most people will understand, and even in your country, lepidolite as well. So yeah. Where does this sit? And I guess ultimately in terms of like grade and therefore I guess use cases. You said it kind of crosses boundaries, but where is it mostly used?
So it's mostly used in glass and ceramics. Which is why a very low iron concentrate goes well into the glass and ceramics, because the iron content would sort of dull the glass and ceramics. So it's typically used there. The major difference being in that. From a quick chemistry lesson, we produce a lithium aluminate silicate oxide. The difference between a spodumene and a petalite is 2 extra silicate. A silicon and 4 extra oxygen atoms. So it just needs to be roasted at a higher temperature for the battery market.
Right. Okay. Because petalite typically is a sort of lower grade than the spodumene.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Right.
That's right.
So
yeah.
It needs a little bit more work to kind of get it up to the kind of battery grade stuff. So I'm wondering, when you kind of produce this kind of bulk samples, have you identified the audiences that you want to be talking to? Because they're going to have slightly different use cases in their own right. And if you're talking to, it's going to be very difficult to create different products for different audiences. You've got to work out where this stuff is going to go. So what does that process look like? And, how long does that take?
Correct. So look, I mean, into the glass and ceramic space, it's a fairly, the grade that we're producing fits into that. Into the battery space, we need to generate significant amounts of material so that they can test this in their lithium refineries, which is the whole point of the pilot program in the first instance. So all of that work is continuing. The significance of our today's announcement is this is the first bulk test sample that we've made on grade, and now we can start testing this with the various end users.
Does it matter to you which market you feed into? Because obviously, I think with one, there's a lot less processing your side. And obviously, like if you went over to the battery side, obviously they would require a whole bunch. I don't know, would it be used as a blending or mixing use case? Therefore, more cost there, and therefore, I guess they would pay you less. So, do you get the same amount no matter which market you sell it into?
Roughly, all like the indications look like that. But I mean, that they're still. It's still between $1,500 and $2,000 a ton, which is that's still pretty good in our books, considering the tin basically pays for all the production costs. Everything everything over and above the tin is just bonanza, really.
No, I get that. This is there's an exciting opportunity, and there's some real margin to be had as well. So I was just trying to work out, in terms of where you're leaning, and I guess for some people in the market, they might think it's a little bit more exciting feeding into the battery market, but the reality there's a big demand also from the kind of ceramics glass side of things as well. So there's only really to say that you reminded us the tin is banging out. Well, what are you generating off the tin each month? How much money?
So look, from a production point of view, we're looking at about between 960 and 1,000 tons of tin, contained tin a year, and that will be between $1 million and $1.5 million of revenue a month.
Right. So that is taking care of a heck of a lot of G&A in the company, and also while we're dealing with little things off the side, the tantalum component, are we able to kind of capture any value there?
Yes, definitely. So as also in June, our tantalum circuit will be up and running. So we'll do about 5 tons of tantalum concentrate a month, and that should give us another $200,000 to $500,000 a month extra.
Okay, so it's all kind of good stuff on a base level. So the fortunes in terms of the growth and scaling of this company are very much focused on the lithium element. So bulk sample now. Pick a lane, pick a partner, etc. Would be good. It's a very technical thing, lithium, very technical. So would you? I think there's a few people in the market that kind of benefited from bringing in sort of technical partners, whether that in whatever shape that may look. Is that something that you're looking to? Do you think that's something important for you, given the importance of the kind of technical ability to extract maximum value from what you've got?
Yeah, definitely. And you'll notice that we announced recently the appointment of Barclays. We had a lot of unsolicited approach from multiple international entities from all different continents. We thought we'd get the pros in, and we ran a process on the advisory side and appointed Barclays, and they will run the process for us. Important to notice that we're not looking to sell. We're looking exactly as you said, to have a strategic partner so that we know exactly where our end product is going to go.
Okay, well, actually, that's an interesting point. It's not just about solving the sort of the technical nut here. It's also the access to the market, because there's a lot of demand out there, and obviously picking the right sort of relationship and getting the right sort of contract between you is going to be important too. So again, where are you leaning? You're an African play. People assume China's going to kind of walk in here and take everything. Is that true, or are you seeing a lot more interest coming out of Europe?
Look, it is quite fascinating, the sort of geopolitical dynamics of the energy transition. China's definitely got a head start. The Chinese companies saw the opportunity in the market, and they started building refineries. So they've definitely got that downstream capabilities. But then what we see now, very interestingly, is the Europeans and Americans trying to play catch up, or wanting to play catch up, and looking to participate further downstream. So it's fascinating to see. I think it's a whole new world that we are entering into now, and I think only second to the introduction of the internal combustion engine would you have seen such a huge shift in technology. So it is. It's amazing. We are very well placed because we are so close to actually producing into this market, and I think we're well positioned to capitalize significantly from it.
Right. Okay. And let's talk about timing. You mentioned earlier on the moving the pilot plant along. So again, are you funded for that? What's the timing for that? And what happens at the end of that? Will you actually have appointed the strategic partner? Will you have done more bulk? Will you be in a place to do more bulk sampling at that point, and and at what level?
Yeah. So as I said, the whole bulk test program is currently being run off-site. The plant is on track to be completed end of June, with commissioning in July. and then that allows us to operate the bulk testing facility and potential production facility from the plant from July onwards. So that's a significant step forward for us. The next big step. We are financed. I mean, all the costs are sunk already to date. We are making money. We raised cash last year. We've got bank support from Development Bank of Namibia that we're drawing down at the end of this month. So well financed on that side. And then so I think that will be the big catalyst from that point of view. The strategic process will continue sort of concurrent with this, and we look to complete that sort of Q3 this year.
Okay, so far it seems to be like you're kind of keeping it simple. Getting the debt facility in place from Development Bank of Namibia is great. I think also read that you've got Orion Global Resources involved at some level as well. So all that's kind of thing, getting it great. But it seems to be it's quite simple at the moment. You're not trying to overcomplicate, which I think is good from a financial capex point of view, but also, it's a kind of new space for you guys. What have you been doing in terms of, making sure everyone knows you're here and what you're about? Obviously, Barclays coming on board is great, but do the markets understand what you're trying to do, what you're trying to be?
Look, they definitely don't. I think there is a very big disconnect between what a discounted cash flow valuation looks like on this project as is, and hopefully we'll be able to announce exactly what that looks like in the not too distant future. But it's about creating awareness now. So we are making a big push to tell the story. We've done the hard yards. We've built something pretty spectacular, and now we just need to get out there and crow more about it, and quite aggressively.